Hello and welcome. My name is MokkaMusic, and as you can see today we're going to have a look at Bandai's latest card game, which comes with the Assemble set. So these are the first look at the Gundam Assemble line that Bandai introduced into tabletop gaming. Also, to go alongside them, I purchased 10 of these little Kinder Egg-like toys, where you'll get a Gundam figurine to build and paint, which is kind of similar to the Assembles. And we'll also compare the Assembles to what Bandai are coming into to compete with, but Warhammer figures, Warhammer model kits, which I have some put to one side just now. One of the other things I want to go through is I want to compare the Japanese version of the cards against the English versions of the cards. Now, when you look at TCGs, tabletop table card games and stuff like that, the Japanese variant is always made better than the English variant. And you can see this quite clearly with Pokemon cards. The Japanese Pokemon card is made from a better cardboard or card stock than what the English ones are. So we'll see if this is true between these two here as well. I think what we first look at is we'll look at what's in this starter set here from Japan. So this one I got from Amazon Japan. For the same price as it's selling it in the UK for about 36 quid. There is a massive, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but there's a massive bit of tape going all the way along here. So that's interesting. So I've got to cut that. Do bear with me because I need to replace the blade on my scalpel. Right. Let's have a look what's inside. So there is plenty inside. Ooh. So we have a whole deck here that goes with these assembled figures, and we have a booster pack. It also has a rule sheet in Japanese, of course, and also an advertisement for Gunpla. So this is the assemble stuff. So this will be coming out, I think, next year in 2026. Future Mech will be able to tell us. But it has instruction manuals in here how to assemble each of the figurines, and we'll assemble them as well. Won't paint them. I'll do pictures later when we paint them. Alright, so first things first, let's see what we get. What other leaflet we get in the Japanese one. So we'll get the game rules explained here. And we have a playmat on the back. So that's interesting. Alright. Well, of course we'll have a look at the English one, because that actually tells us in English. I can't read Japanese, I'm sure a lot of you can't either. But this is interesting. So we get a little booster pack, which I can't read Japanese that well, but it feels like it's only one card. Can you really call it a booster pack when it comes with only one card? You know? It's a bit weird, that. And here are the model parts. So let's get everything out of this one. And we'll open up this. So this is the Hero Beginnings one. So it basically comes with the 3 mobile suits from the V project, the gun tank, the gun cannon, and the RX-782 Gundam. There's a gun cannon. So the plastic that they've used for this one feels like the plastic they use for their normal runners on their Gunpla, which is not a bad thing. It feels completely different to the plastic used by Games Workshop for their Warhammer figures. There you go, you got 3 of them. Of course, these are not designed to be color separated, so these will always be sold like this, and then you're meant to paint them, unlike a traditional Gunpla. So they are definitely aiming towards Games Workshop stuff, tabletop stuff, you know. Games Workshop is the biggest here in the West when it comes to this game, tabletop stuff. And then, so you get a deck of cards, and you get some tokens, by the looks of it. And it's a big, thick set of tokens. Let's open this up here. So, yeah. So there's your tokens. Then you got, a few holographics. So you get 2 of the RX-78, which are very thick cardstock. These are very thick cardstock. I don't know if it comes up in there that well. And these 2 are thicker than these 2, which is of the Gundam aerial rebake or rebuild. But it's still quite thick cardstock. So these are the special ones because these have got also like a special background to them. These are just hollow. And you got your standard cards. So you've got a lot of a mixture of UC and Witcher Mercury in here. Pilots, commands. There's some really nice artwork on it. Can't deny that. Bases. Base. And then there's resource cards. Lots of resource cards. And the EX resource token. The unit tokens. So that's pretty cool. Like I said, it's very thick cardstock. They do feel good. Of course, it's all in Japanese, so. Alright, so that's the Japanese one. Do I want to open this? It is for 1 card. Right, so let's have a look at the English variant. And this one is the Wings of Advance. So this is just a bunch of Leons. It does have a Tall Geese 3 in it, which is still it's just an advanced Leon. So you've got ground type, you've got space type, and then you've got for Tall Geese, different types of Leon. So you've got the English versions of the promotional material. Gundam Assemble. They call them the Gundam Assemble 5 centimeters in height. Where did I put my chocolates? I forgot where I put my chocolates. I did just have them here, didn't I? They're right there. No worries. I found them. This goes over team battle. So there's 4 of you. So there's different rules sets basically. And here's the instructions on how to construct them. So this one, because each of these bases come with a fight stick like this here. So that'd be interesting. And these Gundam Assemble tokens are meant to be used with the new TCG. So meant to be. But the main reason people were buying these starter decks was just to get to the Assemble stuff. I don't think a lot of people actually care about the card game. There's Wing of Advance bonus pack. So apparently there's 16 different cards you can get in this one pack. 1 card per pack. So apparently the card in that is randomized, which is fair enough. So we'll take everything out of here. So again, it's the same here. how to play, rules of play on this side. And then on this side is your play mat. Again, with some little rules on. Of course, I'll be keeping the English set. I'll probably bin for Japanese. The cards I'll keep just for as I can. Right, let's have a look at the English cards then. So I'm hoping. So the main reason why you'll find a difference between English and Japanese cards are the same thing, like Pokemon, is for factories they made in. Japanese Pokemon cards are made in a Japanese factory. English Pokemon cards are made in Europe, in Germany. And so they use different card stocks, different sizes, different prints. Even if the cards are same art and from the same set, the card stock's going to be different. But because this one, as I can already feel, are made from a different. They're made at the same factory by the looks of it. Both printed at the same factory. Because the card stock feels the same. And this one has entirely winged cards. So unlike the Heroic Beginnings, which had Witch for Mercury and UC cards, this one deck has just wing. Again, have a look at this. So yeah, again, who did I get the? So I got the English set from a shop called Dragon Scale Cards. This was their last pack though, and since then they've taken down all listings of the Gundam TCG apart from booster packs. Other than that, it's all they've got. This is what they had left, and I got it. Yeah, again, this is the same. It's quite a big runner for Torgies. Since it is one of the bigger kits out of all these I've seen. You get one for the Leo and one for Space Leo. You can see as well, these all been printed in 2024. So these runners for Assemble have been sat around since 2024. So TP004A Leo, TP004B Leo. And that should say, yeah, TP005 Torgies. So yeah, and again, the same bases as the other set. Now, compared to a GW pack, let me get gas coal here. Oh, there. Son of a bitch. Come here, stupid orc. Right, compared to Gazco, I haven't opened them up yet because I'm going to be using them for conversion. I'm hoping to make them for new dreadnoughts come out. But yeah, so God, that stinks. Yeah, that's been in the warehouse for a little while. So yeah, so this is what they're competing with, basically. This is what Bandai's coming into the market of, this Assemble stuff. You can tell just by it on screen the difference in manufacture, scale, and injection. How different the runners are, and how the gates work. So yeah, it's going to be interesting when I build them to see what they're like. Let's just put this back in this box. Here we go. So yeah. All right, and then finally, plugging the camera in because it's about to die. Oh yeah, anyway. There we go. Anyway. So yeah. So the last thing I want to compare these to, other than Games Workshop's models, is this little suite that Bandai brought out. So these are basically Kinder Eggs. And you get a little figure in them. So there we go, there's chocolate thing. This to one side. Unwrap it. So this has travelled from Japan. So it's going to be a bit smushed and melted. So you can see it's melted a couple of times. Yeah, it's been through different heat zones, this. It's not bad chocolate. It's just because it's been melted. Delicious. There we go. Chocolate's not bad. Right. Let's open up this little pod. So this pod should have each a little mobile suit to build. And the reason why I got these, because he looked very similar to the Assemble. But I'm not sure on the sizing, you see. So we'll find out. Because this looks like I got the RX-75 gun cannon. So yeah. So if you're wondering, this whole set, so I've got 10 of these little pods, these little chocolate balls, and it cost me 20 quid just for the 10 chocolate balls, where it cost me 36 quid for bloody aircraft, for the Assemble with the Gundam deck cards. So these you can glue together. There is a bit of nub marks you have to get rid of. It looks like they're partially pre-assembled. So you could take them apart yourself, reassemble them. So yeah, so that's how he's meant to be like. If we that's what he's meant to look like. So we look at the it's a gun cannons, this one here. So we take a look at this one. And of course you're meant to glue all these together like standard tabletop miniatures. Now this be interesting because I don't know exactly the plastic they use for these. If it'd be the same plastic or same like plastic like the Games Workshop stuff. Because the Games Workshop stuff is easy to glue together. It melts quickly, And this is a glue I use when I building my Warhammer stuff. It's the only good thing that Revel's ever made is their plastic glue. Revel kits themselves. Ah, shit. It's plain and simple. Alright. So you can already tell this is going to be almost twice the size. Of the Gachapon kits. These will require a little bit more work than your standard Gunpla build. If you're very used to building Gunpla and snap build kits, but you're not used to building tabletop miniatures, this will be a learning curve for you. It is smaller details compared to what you're normally used to. Even a 1144 EG's got quite a nice detail, but it is rather big compared to these. Don't need one of these. Now I have to say that the plastic they used for these bases is not as good as the plastic that GW uses for their bases. This just feels stronger. And the fact that GW pre-textures their bases is kind of nice. It helps with adhesion of glue. So just get the nubs for the rest of these parts. I'll go over these later and sand them down and all that bollocks. So we'll go through these kits. I will build them all. I will paint them all. It might take me a little while because I've got a lot to paint as of late. They've got very big gates, but very small contact. So they've got big runners, quite thick runners that go up to the parts, but as soon as you get to the gate to the part, they're not that big. So it could lead to parts being easily lost if you're not careful off the runner itself before you can get to it. Alright, so shouldn't take long to build this. This goes into there like so. Still kind of a snap build kind of style. This one goes in there. This one goes in there. So you could glue these together if you want, or you keep them separate and then paint them modules and then put them together. I would probably glue these together, especially if you're going to be moving around a lot on a tabletop. That goes into there. So the hands are part of this base here, they're not actually separate. Which is kind of disappointing. I'd rather have them separate. And then you put that in there like so. So there's your assembled gun cannon. And then there's your so these are the Gachapon chocolates. The Kinder Egg style. And this is your Assemble. So the Assemble do have quite a bit of detail on them, but as I figured, they're nowhere near as detailed as a Games Workshop one, let's say. Considering the technology that Bandai has and how good they can make smaller details, when you take a look at our Warhammer model, which one would be the best one? Let's take this one again. Chaos Sorcerer. So this Chaos Sorcerer by GW. You know, they've textured for writing in the book. You know, they've got motifs and all that. And they are about the same size. These will be taller when they stand it up. But this guy's got more detail than this guy. That's crazy to me. That Bandai have this ability. And they have the technology in that to make these better detailed. They give them more details, more panel lines. And yet they don't. Whereas, you know, in the GW here, you can tell just by looking at the different plastics. This one's more Saturn. This is a lot shiny plastic wise. I don't know, there's something about this plastic, especially when you glue it together. This glues together so well. So the glue I use is a contact adhesive, and it welds the plastic together. And it's very good for building tabletop miniatures. A lot of people use super glue as well for metal resin, all 3D prints. Whereas this one, I'm not sure yet how well the glue's going to take to this. And we'll find out when I'm painting. Yeah, so far I'm not too impressed by the Assemble lot. It looks like the Tall Geese does have the most detail on it compared to the other kits so far. You'll probably find that the wing has more detail to it than the other kits. But so far it is disappointing compared to their leading competitor in the tabletop space, Warhammer. Games Workshop definitely have a one-up on this. And that's not because Warhammer is my first love. It's just I really want Assemble to be good. And when the Tall Geese is probably the best detailed out all your mobile suits and your tabletop range. You don't get it wrong, Bandai got the main central details you get on there, and they look like miniature HGs. But when GW can make models at a smaller size with more detail, it's weird. If you want tabletop, and I know GW is very expensive GW is, especially compared to a lot of stuff that Bandai does. But at the end of the day, 36 quid you get 3 little miniatures and a pack of cards. I'm not sure what Assemble is going to be like when it comes out and how much it's going to be per figurine or miniature. Because GW, if you that Gasco I pulled out earlier, you're looking at nearly 50 quid just for one miniature. That's like it's the same size as a HG, if not a little bit smaller. You know, you're probably, or an SD, you're probably better off price wise getting the Assemble lot. Detail wise, you might be better off getting Warhammer. We have yet to see how the game plays yet though, so we can't compare play styles yet. That'll be interesting when it happens. And then finish off, let's open up these packs. Probably worth a bit online, but I don't care. I'll probably sell all this on or give it to the. What do I get in this one? So I got another Wing Gundam. But this one's a special texture one. compared to this one. You can see even it's like similar art but close up, and it has like, this has got a background texture, but this has got like a special texture. It feels different, but as you can see, because of where it's being sat in the box, all these deck cards were in a separate compartment in the box. This was just left floating around in the box, so over time it has actually warped in the post. And then let's have a look at the Hero Beginnings one, which one they give me on this one. This is a Japanese one. I get a special one of the of all the characters to get. Who's a commander, and he is, I can't remember his name now off the top of my head. So it's a special one of those. So yeah, well, hopefully in the next few weeks I'll get these painted up and we can have a better look at them compared to a painted GW model. But I am not impressed, especially considering the technology in that Bandai has, what they can do, the impressive stuff they have done, and they've just pooped these out. These are just I don't know. I'm not, because considering the little chocolate one I got, I'm just not impressed by them. Don't get me wrong, they're cheap. They're cheaper than GW. I think that's what's going to have going for them as a tabletop game, but they're not. They're nowhere near as good quality. That's what I can say. They don't have as much detail. GW miniatures have that feel to them, that feeling of quality, the detailing, for creases, for the look of fabrics, skin, metals, flames, all that. And I don't think Bandai's hit that yet. And again, like I said, Assemble hasn't officially come out yet, not till 2026. This is just a taster of what it is. I hope it gets better. Anyway, if you like this video, like and subscribe. The usual guff and all that. And remember, knowledge is power. Bye now.